you guys doing, man?
This,
Back?
right?
You start?
Yeah, this is.
Mixing in vinyl because
It's a much more warmer sound, and I just prefer it a lot better than digital.
DJ Zemotion.
It's gonna sound so much better on vinyl.
Zemotion. I think he rocked with Kodak, the big Z.
Quick, no fire on that same wick. Blood moon is changing phases like a facelift. Flooded rooms feel like a maze, I'm in the matrix. Another tombstone I had to say a praise with. We need a new home and it's my turn to lay bricks. I'm in a new zone, this ain't the day to play with me. Even splits, I keep 50 and you take 50. I brought the horses to the water, made them drink it too. I drew from sources that will border on my given mood. It's so ironic, I see ghosts inside my living room. I hear harmonics, I see notes, I really listen true. I felt demonic in my soul, I had to switch my groove. I can't acknowledge none of these folks who cannot spit the truth. My thoughts atomic, shit gon' blow up if I let them loose. We so iconic cause my bros ain't ever let me lose. Yeah, yo, all these feelings I embrace got me switching up my pace. I was stuck inside a place where every day is hell. Got me looking up at space. I'm not into saying grace, but I still respect the greats. I was raised well. All these feelings I embrace got me switching up my pace. I was stuck inside a place where every day is hell. Got me looking up at space. I'm not into saying grace, but I still respect the greats. I was raised well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, New York City, Brooklyn, Dumbo, stand up. You are listening to a B-Box Show. This is DVR, the best kept secret in the city. I'm your host, your captain, Z-Motion, man. How's everybody doing out there today? Yes, we are back in the studio with a brand new show today. But first, I gotta say a big thank you to my guest from last week. That was Bodega Party, man. Like, you know what I mean? It was a lovely show, man. Like, you know, she came over here, like, you know what I mean, and gave us, like, you know, a great interview, man. Like, you know, so thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here, man. Like, you know, but today, man, like, you know what I mean, I got my guests in, man. Like, you know, it took me some time, man. Like, you know, we went back and forth, and then you're like, man, let's do it, man. Let's do it, man. New York City, man. Like, you know, one of my people from TTL, man, turn to a live, man.
Yes, sir.
I want you to welcome the one and only Gleeks, man. Welcome to B-Box, man. How you doing?
Shout out to my boy Z. Shout out to my boy.
Yeah, welcome, man. And you ain't came by
Thank you.
yourself. You actually with Nico.
Okay.
Yeah, what up, my
And
people?
Sir David over there,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
welcome,
sir.
man. How you guys doing, man? How's your day going so far,
Great,
man?
bro. Feeling good.
Chillin'.
Weather's changing.
Oh man,
you know?
absolutely, man. Like the temperatures started to drop, man. But
Yup.
it's all good. We also got Miss Cam in the building, man. Like, you know, what I
Yeah.
mean? So last night holding it down, man. Like, you know what I mean, on post baby Graham, man. For those who came out, man, it was a good time. Thanks a lot to my boy Ernesto, man. So he gave me a lift. I was there early. He took me home. He gave me a lift home. Came back and took my lady. That's utmost respect to
that's
you,
real.
man. Like, you know
That's
what I mean?
real. That's a real homie right there.
Utmost
Yeah.
respect to you, man. So I appreciate you, man. Like
Yeah.
I said, we are back in here, man. The temperature's going down, man, but we got a great show for you, man. But first, man, before you even go, I want you to introduce yourself. Like, you know, who you are, what is it that you do, briefly before we get into it.
Yo, my name is Gleeks.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised in New York.
Okay.
Grew up making music my whole life.
Nice.
And around the age of, I would say, like 18, 19, I decided to start taking it real seriously.
Okay.
I've been making beats since I was about 11, 12 years old.
Nice.
So by that time, I was already kind of into production.
Okay.
And I would say a couple of years down the line, I felt like I needed to add something a little bit more to the beats.
Mhm.
Started writing, and this is just from there on out. It's history, you know.
That's what's up, man. But I would like to know what kind of music you grew up listening to at home. Like, you know what I mean?
So-
to take you back.
The original music that I listened to was actually reggae music.
Mhm.
100% reggae music.
Yes.
I am Jamaican, Puerto Rican, and Cuban.
Okay.
So growing up, my dad was playing a lot of reggae and
Okay.
a lot of hip hop music.
Nice.
My mom was born and raised in Brooklyn, so the hip hop culture was always like in my household.
I see.
So like, man, I could think back to like just hearing certain stuff in my home, but there's very specific artists that I can name that were played in my household, and one of the main ones is Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Another one is Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Another one is Paul McCartney.
Nice.
And these are like some artists that just really
that's
shaped
that.
that,
Shape your,
you know what I mean? So like with the reggae and some of the hip hop influences, and then some of those, like my dad was really into the band Journey as well, so he introduced me to rock music in that way.
Nice.
So like growing up, like I was always very like, yo, let me just like hear everything and find a way to enjoy it. And yeah.
I see. So what about like, you know, by the time you went to high school, what kind of music were you into? Like, you know what I mean? You have what your parents listened to and what you were yourself into. Like, you know what I mean? When you start to get your music taste, like, you know what I mean, a little bit.
This is actually a funny one. By the time I got to high school, me and my older brother were experimenting with so many different types of music. Like, I was listening to specifically death metal when I was in high school.
Okay.
I was wearing, I went through a lot of phases, man.
Okay, so tell us why death metal is. Why?
A lot of death metal. Like, I can name tons of bands. As I Lay Dying, screamo music, emo music. Coheed and Cambria is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Okay.
Bands like Senses Fail, also like pop punk, like Blink-182, Good Charlotte, just all over the place, just like taking it all in. Just a lot of phases, you know, inspired by a multitude of different music. And it was funny because like in high school, the scene was kind of surrounded by like rock at the time, you know.
Okay.
And then like towards the end of my high school career, it turned into the electronic music.
Okay.
The dubstep started coming out, and so I was just like, I'm that now.
I see.
And I started that's like I started producing dubstep music.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that was your first.
That was my first. Yep.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm actually like, you know, I love to retrace, like, you know what I mean, people's history, like going back to like, you know, like your journey. So like, you know, why eventually at some point were you into hardcore at some point, like hardcore music? What was it that compelled you about it? Like, you know, there have to be something.
I looking back now, I know exactly what it is.
Okay.
I was very rebellious. That's the word I'll use.
That makes sense.
And the music matched the energy at the time, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, I was a little crazy, you know? Like, I was a wild teenager, man. Like, running around, you know, getting into fights, going crazy, you know? And that music was very, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like,
and then on the opposite spectrum, also, growing up, I was always into, like, hearing a lot of different instruments at once, and that came from a lot of, like, bands, like the Beatles and stuff like that. And so when I would listen to like death metal and metal and stuff like that, I was amazed by like some of the technicality as well. So it wasn't only the edginess that caught me, but it was also like, oh my God, look what this drummer can do. Like the double pedals, killing the snares. Like one of my favorite drummers of all time is Joey Jordison from Slipknot. R.I.P. to him, but like a machine, you know what I mean? You got some of these guys on guitar just like shredding mindlessly, where it's just so second nature. And I was always like deeply amazed by that as a kid. This one right here used to come over all the time with his guitar, and we would just sit there practicing guitar for hours, you know? Like,
nice.
Really
actually, you just actually answered my next question. Actually, that was actually coming to my, like, you know, if you play any instrument and why. Like, you know what I mean?
I gotta say, it's honestly an easy question for me. Always the drums, man.
Always the drums.
The drums make you dance, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you can have like a synth or a piano or an instrument playing, and it might give you like an ambient feel or something like that. But like a lot of the times, the drums are what's gonna bring the energy.
I see.
You know, and I always also felt that like drummers have a very specific rhythmic timing, and it's like, it's crazy.
It's funny actually. So today I was like, you know, like I listen to a lot of music actually at TTL. For those who know me, I try to listen to at least 10 albums a day of music. Like, daily. So I was listening at some point to Pete Rock and Common, and at some point actually, so shout out to them. Actually, we just went to see them over the weekend actually at Webster Hall, man. Like,
and they just dropped a new project too, right?
George Carter. We went to the concert, the last stop. The last stop actually.
Wow.
The last stop in NY. And actually, so the reason I'm actually bringing this up because in the interview, actually, Common mentioned that he, at some point, Kanye West he wanted to work with Kanye West at some point, but he felt like, you know, his drums was not up there. You know what I mean? He's like, you listen to Phil stuff, and he was like, man, yeah, I like this, but the drum was not up there back then.
Yeah.
And then he was like, damn, now I feel bad, because like, now they there, like, you know what I mean? Now, like, you know, yeah, he's rocking, but back then, like, he was like, when I first listened to his early projects,
it just wasn't it.
He was like a hunter about it. That's why I'm actually bringing the drums up. Right?
Man, you know you're a legend when you can say that about someone like Kanye, you know?
I mean, they got 30 plus years,
legends.
bro.
Those are the originators of the game.
Absolutely. 30 plus years under your belt, man, they can totally say that. Like, you know, he was honest about it, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know.
Me and Nico saw Pete Rock live at McCarran Park recently.
Nice.
Yeah, they just performed there. It was he did a great job, and one of the cool things that I really appreciated about it is like it was a very young crowd.
Yes.
And you know, Pete Rock is from a different generation.
Of course, totally.
The appreciation was there.
Nice.
It was nice to see like some of the younger people like knowing the songs from like back in the day.
Wow.
You know?
He played all his hits.
It's the beauty. Yeah, he played all the hits, and like some of these hits were made way before some of these kids were born. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were singing. They knew more words than I did, and I was like,
I forgot he made some of them hits.
Some of those hits.
That's him. He was like,
Yeah, me and Nico were like, whoa, yo, he's a legend.
Yo, man, like actually, Pete Rock to me, definitely my favorite producer, still alive today after Jay Dilla, man. Like, you know what I mean? So you go back to the early 2000s. So I met Pete Rock back in 2001.
Wow.
And Carmen in 2000, actually in Paris. He came to perform at the Elysee Montmartre, which is one of the coolest spots in Paris. So I went to the concert, and then at some point, Carmen, he got on the floor and then started windmilling. Like, you know, I was like, and back in those days, I was a hardcore b-boy. Like, a hardcore b-boy.
Wow.
Like, I'm talking like, even if I was dressed in suit, I see busting move, it's on.
It's on,
Like, anyway, so me seeing Colin on stage going off, I start pushing the crowd and I start going off over there. The security did not get what that was back then, like 24, 25 years ago. Like somebody rocky and all that going crazy on the floor, they feel like I was going crazy. They pick me up and drop me out. Like, they really pick me up.
Are you serious, bro?
Like, it's funny, I actually had a chance to tell that story to Common here in New York City.
Oh, that's amazing.
He was signing a book at Barnes & Noble, so I went over there when he signed a book, and I tell him about that story where like 24 years ago, I saw him breakdancing on stage. I went and did the same day because I got so hot, and they kicked me out because the security guy was like,
Yo, I didn't know Common could breakdance.
Back in the day, that was his first introduction to hip hop.
Oh, it makes sense.
Absolutely.
That makes
that was his first introduction
sense.
to back to you, man, like, you know, Gleeks, man, like, you know, so I would like to know at some point, man, like, you know what I mean, so when you start shaping your music eventually, like, you know, if you were to name some people that you would say, like, let's say you saw them work and you're like, oh, I would like to do this, or you hear their music, you're like, oh, this is what I want to do. Or there's got to be eventually at some point they're like, because everybody that you saw nowadays, we just mentioned about Pete Rock. The show that we saw lately, I don't know if you pay attention to, there's a lot of records. You will mention people who got inspired by, like, you know, it can be Miles Davis, it can be like, you know, Marvin Gaye, whoever they get inspired by somebody. And they just like,
exactly.
You know,
and so like going into this, I actually love questions like this because it goes into like what your reference point is and like how much you know, so like it's cool because over time, like a lot of my inspirations have changed, you know, with how you grow. But some of my original inspirations, I was just thinking about this today. Especially for rapping and writing music. I grew up on the Locks, like. And I'm from Westchester and
nice, man. LOX, the Locks, man. For those who know, back in those days, early 2000, heavy, man, heavy.
So I grew up around the Yonkers area, and I used to when I would be in Yonkers, I would see Jadakiss playing basketball sometimes. A funny story: I worked at Whole Foods. I worked at the Whole Foods Styles P used to go. Nice. It just turns out that he's a vegan. And the section I worked in, he needed the sandwiches from there.
Wow.
So Styles P would always pull up. He would say, yo, what's good, cuzzy? And he would be like, yo, make sure you clean the knife because, you know, he's a vegan, very healthy. Big shout out to Styles P for, you know, spreading good energy, you know, like positive energy. But making sandwiches for him. But it was really cool because he inspired me to really pick up a pen. One of the best storytellers in the game.
Absolutely.
One of the best ghostwriters in the game. And I also feel like he's one of the ones that like doesn't get the credit sometimes he deserves. You know? Like all the music he's still putting out, you know, opening a store, like a lot of stuff like that. So he's a big one. And then I can and then there's one very specific line that did something big for me. And it's a Joey Badass line in a song called Hillary Swank.
Okay.
It came out in around, I think, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I really related to it. You know, Joey Badass is from New York. And he said, I used to take walks around Little Italy. Now I'm roaming around Sicily. Right?
Okay.
And when I heard that line, bro, yo, I tell you that's inspiration right there. I said, yo, like, because Little Italy is a place, like, you know, you're from New York, you know
that,
see that millions of times. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, right by Chinatown.
Yeah.
And so, like, just thinking about like how he must have felt. Like, yo, I used to walk around Little Italy. Now I'm really in Italy, you know, and it's like his words got him there.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
and when I heard that and kind of felt that vibe, I was like, you know, I was so inspired. I was like, this is something that I would like to pursue. You know,
Nice.
like no matter how it goes, I'm gonna go for that. I want to be walking around
That's
Sicily
what's up.
too.
So you
know?
actually you got aware of, like, you know, how important, how like meaningful the words can be.
Exactly.
How powerful they can be. Like,
Bro,
yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy, man.
Just paint that picture, like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You can
like
just,
you like did a spell on me, bro.
That's what's up, man. I'm really
Yeah.
happy to hear that, man. Like, you know, so I would like to know, so when it comes to, like, you know, making beats, like, you know, for you, so what's the process in the beginning, the early days, like, you know what I mean? How was the process for you? Are you the kind of like, do you shop your samples?
Yeah.
Do you, like, you know what I mean? Like, tell us people, like, you know, let people know how you
So
how you be cooking.
I have to be completely honest. I have to be honest about this part of the process.
Okay.
A lot of marijuana.
That's all good too.
A lot-
Jay
a
Dilla,
lot-
for those who
a lot
know,
of,
man,
you know, that
Jay would not like keep, like, you know, he
Exactly.
stay lit.
I have
Jay stay
to.
lit,
But
man. Rest in peace.
yeah, like my process, like is honestly, like you say, like I spend more time looking and digging for sounds
Okay.
than I actually do making the beats, because of actually Jay Dilla himself and Madlib,
Oh yeah.
their sound selections happen before the beat is made.
Absolutely.
That's the digging.
That's
you know?
the cook.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Like I said to me, so I myself as a DJ first, they're like, I mean, I would not consider myself to be one of the technician DJs. To me, it started with what you're cooking with.
Exactly.
You know
what are you
I mean?
cooking with? Like,
What are you
like,
cooking with?
where's the taste?
Where's the
You know
taste?
what I'm saying?
I mean?
Like, where
if you're cooking steak, like, you
it
know,
has to have
it
flavor,
has-
right? Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And honestly, you got a lot of producers cooking steak and it don't got flavor nowadays.
Mhm.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
That's the fact, though.
But yeah, like that process, like I can tell you, even before I started making beats, me and my older brother, we would just dig for samples.
Nice.
YouTube, we would try to collect stuff. I already had a sample folder of like 400 samples before I even knew how to sample.
Nice.
I remember my older brother bought an MPC for no reason. We didn't know what to do with it. We didn't even know how to plug it in right. He got the program Reason on his computer. And that was back when, to use Reason, you had to have an interface.
Okay.
We didn't know what that was. So that was another program we just had for no reason. So, you know, we learned like things over time, but then the process just like we started copying.
Okay.
We started looking at like how Dilla does it, how Madlib does it, but also some of the guys in like the 2000s era, like the Heatmakers,
Yep.
Just Blaze, Kanye
Okay.
West is
Yep.
a really, really big one.
Absolutely.
Because of the sampling. We were obsessed with the sampling. Pete Rock, you know? So after the sampling aspect, it's like once you find what you want to use, you know, finding that right snare, finding the right hi-hat and stuff like that, I gotta say it's all second nature after that.
Okay.
You know, once I learned how to actually learn the flow of the program, it was like, oh, let me get the good stuff and just piece it together like a puzzle, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think one of the biggest things of the work process that I think I've learned is you need to learn how to trust your ear, you know? Like, I think that's the most important part of the process is like, anyone can say anything they want about your music, but no one will ever know what you want out of your own music but
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
You know? So like, I had to learn to be like, okay, maybe that person doesn't like accept it this way, or maybe I didn't get a reaction from this person, but I still believe in it.
People would
You
always
know,
have something to say.
something to say,
Good
you
or
know?
bad.
Exactly.
That's just
So-
how it goes, man.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the process. I work on FL Studio
Okay.
right now. I started on Ableton, but when I started on Ableton, it was too hard for me.
Okay.
And it was also a cracked version, so every time I would make a beat, it would get deleted. It was horrible. So then I got a job, and I saved up money, and I paid for Reason. And I got Reason because at the time, a lot of dubstep producers were using it
Okay.
because of a synthesizer called Maelstrom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was using that for a while, but I got I don't know, I got kind of tired of making dubstep because it wasn't where my heart was. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It kind of left that. Like I still love that music and I listen to it, but making it, I was like, yo, I love hip hop. I need to be there, man. I need to make beats. I need the soul, the samples, just the feel, finding certain grooves, catching like a swing. You know what I mean? Like just things like that. So from then on out, I started collecting like vinyl. You know what I mean? Records like Chick Corea.
Okay.
You know, just like some of the legends like Stan Getz,
Okay.
Bill Evans.
Nice.
I only collect jazz records. Like
Of course, that's where most of the good stuff
That's
is,
where all the
man.
good
Because
stuff
most of
is.
the time, like jazz band, man, like
Yup.
you know, it's a live band.
exactly.
Most-
Like
yep.
I love jazz funk fusion.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel like that style of music has played the biggest role in like hip hop sampling.
Okay.
You know, like
Absolutely.
I'm sure you're familiar with like the French group Cortex.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's been sampled numerous occasions. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
got bands like Stereolab that like maybe not everyone in hip hop knows about, but these samples are always playing in people's ears, and it's like it's good to know where stuff comes from. You know what I mean?
And it's actually like one thing I appreciate there, the fact that you mentioned the importance of digging. Because a lot of people actually, as a producer, they're like, you need to know a lot of music. You need to know what's been done out there. You need to know what's out there, and then you can see where you're at and what
Exactly.
you bring to the table.
Yep.
Like otherwise, you can be feeling like you're doing something crazy, and then you just realize, or somebody actually did that 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. But if you took a little bit of time to actually search,
Yep.
you would know that, like, you know, that was out there. So
And that's the exact word we use too. Like my older brother always says it. Like he says, when you're an artist and like you believe in your craft, you're basically a researcher.
of course,
All you do is study all day.
You're a student.
You just watch the greats
Yeah.
nonstop, like
Mhm.
hours and hours. And for someone who is invested in like the stuff we're invested in, it doesn't feel like work.
Absolutely.
Sometimes like I'm
That's-
sitting there watching Legends for 10 hours and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go wash the dishes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
Like we get very into it, and it's like you just want to retain as much as possible, because it's like you're saying, like all the guys that we look up to, hey, they were
got it.
inspired by somebody.
Absolutely,
Totally
totally.
inspired by
Right.
somebody. The
Oh.
greatest, Michael Jackson,
Yes, yeah.
Elvis,
All of
James
them,
Brown,
yeah.
they all had
At
inspiration.
some point, they sat there and look at somebody like the same way we look at us
Exactly.
right now. Like,
Exactly,
like, for
bro.
real, though.
Exactly.
They really did. Like,
Even
you know what I'm saying?
everybody, Busta Rhymes,
Yes,
everybody,
they did.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it's a beautiful thing to see. It is. It's another reason why I have a deep respect also for the newer kids coming out trying.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like there's somewhat of a disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation sometimes, and I want to be the glue.
I see.
I want to be the one to be like,
Put on
yo,
the old and the
older generation, yo, respect the young kids. They're trying to do it their own way. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Times are different.
Absolutely.
So-
that's the one thing we definitely gotta admit. That's
You know?
the one thing we gotta acknowledge. Like,
Exactly.
you know, I mean, the music, the way people listen to music in the
It's a whole
70s.
different
It
thing.
was a whole different world. It was a
Yeah.
whole different vibe. Like, you know, in 2020, it's like I was telling my lady the other day that when I see the kids, they dress baggy, I'm like, it looks okay, but it's not like the way we dress baggy.
It's different. It's
just
different. It's
like,
crazy.
you know
It's
what I mean?
weird, right?
I see
Yeah.
this kid baggy and with a short. I'm like, back then, I t-shirt with like 4X dragging down like.
and see the difference too is what I
Yeah,
noticed
yeah,
is like
yeah.
you know and I'm a victim to it too. I've went for the baggy style as
Yeah.
well, the newer version of it. But it's funny because like back in the day, we were just going to the store and getting like $5 t-shirts.
Yeah,
and
totally.
These kids are wearing baggy clothes, but the jeans are like $500.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
into that style, that
Yeah.
stuff as well. But it's just funny to see the difference in the generation.
Absolutely.
Like
And,
back in the
the way
day,
they
you
rock
know?
it. I would see somebody rocking like, you know what I mean, baggy jean with super like, you know what I mean, low sneakers. I'm like, well, you would not rock these things. Man. Back in the day, like, you know, just something.
That's
just
not
wouldn't-
our
it
style.
wouldn't make
That makes
sense,
sense, yeah.
You gotta respect it. I'm like, that's what they do now. That's what they do now.
Yeah,
so I get
exactly,
it. Like,
bro.
That's, you know, New York City, man, you guys, here on B-Box, man, DVR, the best kept secret in the city. If you want to call the station, the number is 718-577-2855. I'm going to say it again, 718-577-2855. Here with the man himself, man, Gleeks, man, and his boy, my ladies
Yes,
as
yes.
well. Like, you know what I mean? So, Gleeks, I would like to go back to a period of time that was a little tough for a lot of people out there, good or bad. So, like, the COVID era, man, like, you know, tell her how COVID was for you, man. Like, you know, how was those years, man, like COVID? Were you productive? or were you like the world stopping, I'm stopping? Like,
that was a very high level of productivity for me, and this
Good.
one right here, and
Good.
and him.
Nice.
It's funny, me and him. This is my cousin.
okay,
He had moved right next door to me
okay,
recently, so we were side by side during
Yeah.
COVID,
nice.
going shopping together. It was a crazy situation. And then on the opposite spectrum, me and Nico, we were linking every single day, and when COVID hit, we didn't see each other for months.
Wow.
We were just FaceTiming or doing it over, and it was funny
Social
because
distancing.
yeah. Oh man, that's crazy to hear. Holy shit, you just brought back. Oh man. But yeah, it was a crazy moment. But one of the biggest things that happened to me actually, where I was staying at the time. It's funny you asked this question because it was a lot that was going on. I got really, really sick during COVID,
Wow.
actually, like super sick. And this is the reason why I ended up leaving
After
Brooklyn.
he did that protest,
Yeah.
like he was outside. Man was
Okay.
really outside for the
Yeah,
protest.
Nico reminded me. Okay, that's another thing. That's another
When
thing.
I seen the picture of Biggs at the protest,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
He was really outside.
I was
outside.
He's supposed to be social distancing. He went and protested.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nico put that out. I'm a civil rights activist for sure. I like to fight for the people.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna fight for what I don't have any knowledge on, but you know, Black Lives Matter.
Absolutely.
That was
was-
during COVID.
that was
Like
during COVID.
yeah.
It was huge.
I was outside. I was at as many protests as possible.
Mhm.
I was also at some of the ones that people probably wouldn't have wanted to be at. You know what I mean? I saw some of the looting in person, everything.
Yeah,
I got
Biggs was outside for the
I was outside for everything, you know. I
I
wanted to
hear you.
see it up close, so like that was really because it opened up my eyes to a lot of things that I had gone through in my life.
Yeah.
Coming from Westchester, you know what I mean. So I was like, this feels like my battle, you know.
I see.
But so it's funny. I went to my like last protest and I got back and I found out I was really sick and I ended up with like a lymphatic disorder. I'm fine now, but I had to go back home with my parents and like recover. Constant hospital visits, trying to figure out what it was. They felt like I had cancer, bro.
Wow.
So I had to get like radiology scans, all types of shit, bro. But like, it was just extreme allergies, and it, like I developed because I was around like a lot of cats, a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Like, the living conditions I was in, it was kind of like a bachelor pad. It
see.
wasn't too
Yeah.
clean. We were a little dirty, you know what I mean? So that all built up, and it kind of messed me up for that time being. So I went back home. All the lockdown stuff happened.
Yeah.
Honestly, worked the way back up, you know? Had to get back on my feet, but through all of that, always making music. Nonstop.
That's good to hear.
The
So
music
still
was
productive.
always. It was the only thing that like I had, because I couldn't walk for a while. You know what
Wow.
I mean? So I'm like writing songs in my bed, like making beats in my bed, and like it gave me a different perspective on like
Absolutely.
music. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, this is actually helping me more than anything right now. You know what I mean? Like keeping me, like giving me something to look forward to.
Nice.
Because that year as well, they're my judge. I challenged myself and I put out a song every week for 52 weeks straight.
Nice.
So I was sick and everything, and I still like was able
Keep
to
that discipline.
keep that discipline. And then I like ended the year off with like a full tape. You know what I mean? So like it was a rough one. COVID was rough, but I
Then
think
COVID, we started recording in that studio overnight.
that's another thing. We were doing 12 to 14
He came as soon as he
sessions.
healed.
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, I'm gonna book an overnight because that's the only way I'm able to get to the city. So we're gonna be up all night in the studio,
Yeah.
so 11 p.m. to like
Yeah.
8 in the morning."
So you
There
have
you go.
pictures of us. We're taking pictures. Our eyes are dead because we just did a 14-hour session recording like
That's
a lot
the way,
of
man.
That's the way. Yeah,
That's
man.
the way, man. That you got that overtime, man.
It-
A lot of people that
yeah.
don't go there. Like
Exactly.
a lot of people like just stop wearing that. And they get a little rough. But
Yeah.
once you breach that,
Yeah.
it's on the other side, man. I'm happy to hear that, man.
The way I look at it, bro, Dilla would have kept working. Madlib would
man.
have kept working. They would have kept going. MF Doom would have kept writing. You know what I mean? That's why they're where they are. Legends.
There's whenever you see somebody good or great at what they do, there's a certain amount of work that they put in that people tend to forget or
Always.
don't even see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't
Always.
see somebody get up there like with zero work. Like most of the time,
Exactly.
they've been serious work done in the dark. Like you know what I mean? That's just how it is, man. For real.
It's true.
Yep. And I would like to know, so at what point, like, when you create your music, at what time are you satisfied with your result? At what time you're like, oh, I feel like this is good. I can put this out there, like, or you never.
I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better at this, but like a lot of the times I'm done when I don't want to hear it anymore.
Okay.
So like I'm trying to like kind of learn where it's completed, but when is it really completed unless, like, I feel like in order for a song to be complete, it has to have listeners.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm like, let me just put it out and
see how
feel the
people
reaction,
feel about it. Yes.
and then move on to the next song
Mhm.
and try to fix steps, because one of the terms I read online one time that I really have like stuck with, especially when like you want to make a lot of music, put a lot of music out, you don't want to put one song on a pedestal. So, because I'm a beat maker, I'm a music maker, so it's like I'm an artist. I'm not one piece of art.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I heard those words and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep that with me, just so it's like, you don't want to spend too much time on something, because another thing that we say, like my older brother, if it's fire, it's fire. If it's not, it's not. You know what I mean, man? You either like it or you don't.
Yeah, totally.
Simplify it.
You can try to do all the explaining and this or you want, but your ears do it for you.
Yeah.
You either like it or you don't. You know, like, so.
I totally feel you on that one.
Yeah.
New York City on B-Box, man. You got the best kept secret, man.
Yes,
Like
sir.
the one and only, man. Gleeks, man. So I would like to know, as far like we just talked about your beat. Now let's talk about your songwriting process. Like, how do you get inspired? Like, will it take a day? Will it take a week, a month? Like, what's the process?
So my writing process is mornings.
Okay.
On the way to work, a lot of the times, or just it's a very morning thing for me. But honestly,
Why mornings?
It seems to be where like I get the boost of creativity the
Rebirth?
most. Yeah, like I wake up in the morning and it just seems like the ideas flow a little bit better. Like
I see.
I would try to like I would try to write songs after work a lot. It wouldn't flow. But in the morning, like I guess it's just like a new brain after sleeping, and the
Absolutely.
words would flow. But it's funny because it's a really, really emotional thing for me.
Okay.
As I kind of express some of the more personal things,
Mhm.
because I also want to be a little vulnerable with my music so people can know the story. And one of the things I always told myself as a rapper, like I know some rappers and some songwriters, they portray themselves with certain characters or they'll tell certain stories that may not be true, but for the sake of the song.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I've lived an eventful enough life that I can just tell my own story.
Yeah.
So I focus on that, and sometimes bringing up some of the memories that I have to write about or some of the things I've gone through. It puts me in tears, bro. You know what I mean? Like it gets so deep. I'm thinking about some people that I've lost before, and it's like I want to write about this stuff because it's not only about the song, it's art and it's expression.
Yes.
You gotta let that off your chest. So the writing process for me is the biggest deal right now, bigger than the beat making, bigger than the song, because it's a healing thing.
Okay.
When I write a lot of these things on paper, like it's funny, like a couple of times, like I'm on the train and I'm writing a verse and I get to a point where like I'm starting to talk about something emotional.
Yeah.
And now I'm bawling on the train writing. And people are looking at me like, is he okay? He's still like writing. He's like bumping his head to music, but he's crying. And I'm like, I probably look crazy right now, but that's what artistry looks like.
Absolutely.
That's what expression looks like. And I'm not afraid to show that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's you. That's you being you.
Yeah, bro. So like with the writing, man, that it's a real like outwards expression of like just like my heart and soul, bro. Like
I see it.
put my heart in the pen, bro.
And as far as like, when you create your song is concerned, so will you write a song first and then adapt the beat to it, or like vice versa, or at the same time?
So I usually, it's funny, like I always like differentiate what I will do with certain songs. So for instance, the Raised Well song that we played first,
Okay.
that song was super intentional. I made sure to write specifically to that beat. I was like, this is gonna be this song.
Okay.
But there's also been songs where like I've written to a certain beat and then heard a different beat that has a similar BPM that the verse fits on. I switch it to that. This happened recently actually, and then I heard another beat that it fit on, and I switched it to that one instead, and it fit even better. So like like I was saying before, I just play it by ear. You know, let my ears make the decisions for me.
Mhm.
You know, trusting the sound.
I see. And how do you feel about the music industry, like, you know, nowadays, like, you know, and after COVID, like, you know, how do you feel about music in general, about what's out there?
I think that the music industry right now doesn't really care about songwriters,
Okay.
beat makers. They don't care about DJs. The music industry doesn't.
And
like,
how is that? What do you think it's the?
I just feel like the internet has saturated the culture to the point where it's just like there's too many people just in it for like money and fame.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough people that just like want to do it to push the culture forward, you know. And it's
That's a fact.
and it just creates like a lot of like misrepresentation. To be honest,
Mhm.
it creates a misrepresentation where you have people walking around talking about there's no more good music out there. They're talking about there's no more good rappers, no more good artists, when there's like so much creativity being spread
I'm
around.
just not looking
You're
for
not
it.
looking for it, you know what I mean? So it's like, I personally feel when it comes to the artistry, yo, we're in a golden era right now.
Ah, yeah.
If you look, I could go on my phone right now and I could probably find a favorite artist right now just by scrolling.
Yeah.
But the way that the owner of Spotify, for instance, he literally feels that musicians don't deserve money for music. Like, and
That's mad.
and it's like, I'm not saying that it's only about the music, but at the end of the day, if you're presenting entertainment, which is a service to someone,
Mhm.
there should be money behind that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
What these
At-
people do for a living.
Exactly, at its simplest
Like, you know what I
value.
mean? Some people wake up in the morning and start making music from the moment they
Exactly.
wake up till they go to
Go to
bed.
bed,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? So why would they not? How would they live then? Like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
So, yeah, the industry, man. Like, I miss the times where labels would do artist building. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Where they'll pull an artist in and like kind of grow them. Nowadays, it's like labels just like, oh, does this kid have 100,000 followers? Let's pick him up, get a single out of him, and throw him in the garbage with a 360 deal. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And it's
yeah.
like, can't get caught up in that. Can't, you know? It's sad because also like there's a lot of young kids out here that don't have that knowledge of the industry.
Yeah.
They'll sign anything because they'll get a little bit of money that they don't know that they have to pay back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
End up in bad situations. And then another thing that I've been noticing, I'm happy you asked this question because I think a lot about a lot of this stuff. Like, you notice that some of these kids get signed and then they still end up in jail. And it's like, where's the guidance, you know?
Mhm.
This
Yeah,
label is
totally.
giving them all this money.
Mhm.
You have a manager. Why aren't you taking care of your client?
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I even
You're
like,
just a client.
you're just a client. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fan of Lil Uzi Vert, but something that put a bad taste in my mouth is his artist passed. His artist died, and I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, dude,
Yep.
that's your artist. You need to be taking care of that person.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's a really big deal. And I don't know if have you ever seen the show Atlanta
Mm-mm.
with Donald Glover?
No, I have not.
Oh, well, he kind of paints that picture of the industry, and it's funny because he aired this episode, and
Okay.
this thing happened with Lil Uzi Vert right after. But it
Mhm.
was basically the same thing. It was a rapper who signed another younger rapper, but he
Mhm.
just did it for money.
Okay.
And so he was letting the kid party, drink, everything. The kid ended up overdosing. You know what I mean? He wasn't taking care of him. And it's just a show, but it's one of those things that I'm like, damn, that really happens in the industry. Like, artists are not being taken care of anymore at all. You know what I
So
mean?
many. It's just so many. out
Yeah,
there, like,
though, you know her
it's like
death
it's-
was like connected to Young Dolph.
Really?
Yeah. Because her father was part of Dolph's murder, so they saying that was the get back. That was
That's-
part of the get back. Because there's Young Dolph's whole crew went on like a murder spree behind him, bro. Like bodies piled up.
And see, that's another thing. Like, it's like, dude, like the glorification of violence is not good. It's
That's
not
definitely in the industry. They
But that's
glorify
just the way to
violence.
sell. That's just the way to sell. Like, you know, see,
Yeah.
like at some point on the show here, I have some of these kids here, like, you know, they came, they were actually rapping, and it was more of a style that they do not really represent. Like, they talking about guns and all the stuff that a life that they really do not live.
Yeah.
Like, if the label supports that,
Yeah.
like, you know, if the label supports that, they feel like they'll get money from that. Of course, they're gonna push it.
It's sad.
You know,
I remember what Tupac said. He said, "Crack make a lot of money. It don't mean it's good."
Exactly. no, it's true though. It's true. Like let's talk about the drill scene. I think one of the,
Exactly, it was
Yeah,
drill. It was
one of the-
actually drill music.
yeah, and one of the
Yes.
things that bothers me the most is like, yo, 15-year-old kids killing other 15-year-olds. What? over music, bro. It's crazy. So that's one thing I wanna say. Yo, big shout out to Cash Cobain. He's a newer New York rapper.
Yeah.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
So one of the things I like about Cash Cobain is he changed it, you know, and now people are listening. Yeah, it has a lot to do with like women and stuff like that, but I'd rather you talk about like your relationship with girls than you talk about killing people all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, like I'm on both sides of the coin, you know, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I listen to a lot of different types of music, and I listen to drill. You know what I mean? And I do listen to very violent stuff sometimes, but I still feel that there's a certain level of guidance that needs to come along with that.
Yeah.
Kids shouldn't be killing each other, man. Like,
especially because once you reach a certain position, now you're going to inspire other kids.
That's
so
where I'm
what's the
coming
message
from,
now? Like, you know what I mean? So wow, we're spreading.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? We came from a day when, to me, people, when they got on the mic, they had a voice. And they were very aware of it.
Exactly.
They were very aware, like, you know, they were talking to the people that were listening. Like, you know,
I think it relates to what we were saying earlier when we was talking about balance, how like you gotta balance, and like, at least when you had like somebody like Pac or even somebody different talking, like Kendrick talking about guns, he gonna guide you like, yo, yeah, I did that, but this is the consequence of it.
Exactly.
I live with this every day.
Yeah.
And they talk about it compared to all the other, there's other rappers where they just talk about the violence. Not, yo, I went home and thought about that, what I committed.
Because if you listen to Wu-Tang, and I'm not trying to compare like old generation, new generation, but I just want to bring them up. Like, they couldn't be portrayed as violent, but they had so much different styles of music.
Oh yeah.
That's
like,
not all you're getting from them.
Music.
You know what I'm saying? With so much, they're talking about different things, and it's like, yo, it gets a little boring too sometimes. Where it's like, yo, you're all using the same words, the same slang. It's like, bro, and it's sad too because some of these kids are talented as hell.
Oh yeah.
Some of these kids could like freestyle off the top. They're like really talented, but it's getting like pigeonholed.
So you saying that reminded me of Excess Tentacion.
Oh.
Like, so you say he was talented.
He was talented.
No, like, you know what I mean? He went out young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see, man, here, man, still on beatbox, man. If you guys want to call the station once again, 718-577-2855. You can ask any question. He will answer, man. Like, you know, we still here with man himself, Gleeks, man. So
yes, sir.
I would like to know, so where do you see your music going at this point? Like, you know, I mean, where do you see yourself go? Like, what would be like a short or long term goals at this point?
Realistically, I would like. You know why it's hard for me to answer this question? Because at the end of the day, like in the core, I just want to see myself win. That's it. Like I don't know what that looks like, but I know that I got to keep working for it. You know what I mean? Maybe the picture will be painted in time, but like for me right now, I don't even think I have an end goal in mind. We're just gonna keep going.
Exactly.
You know? We're just gonna keep making the music, keep getting better, and whatever picture that paints, I'm cool with that. You know?
I hear you. So the whole point, actually, though, that's actually a question that I was not prepared of anything. As you can see, there's nothing written.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, when it comes to like what you want in life, sometimes you gotta see it first.
Exactly.
You gotta see some things out there.
You gotta envision it.
You gotta envision it. Because like if you do not envision it, like, you know, you gotta create your reality.
Yeah.
Then you go for it.
It's
like,
true.
You know, everybody dreams. Everybody got their dreams. But you can make your dream a reality.
You gotta manifest.
Exactly, it's there. Like,
it's true. It's true.
As long as you got a goal, you're going for it. It's there. People might not even see it, but you're seeing it.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
And that's that's such an important thing. It's such an important thing. Like I recently I've been on a. Are you familiar with the movie director David Lynch?
Of course.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he I watched an interview on him where he spoke about like how he does the same exact thing every single day to make sure he saves room in his brain for creativity, right? So for the last couple of months, I've been on like a Lynchian schedule, where like you could ask Seth at work. That's one of our coworkers. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Same lunch every day, same breakfast every day, same everything. I go to if I even go to bed. If I even go to bed 5 minutes after my bedtime, I'll get anxiety. Like I'm getting.
Wow.
But
That's
it's more of a thing where like just teaching myself a certain self-control so that I can just keep working towards that goal, because it's like what we talked about before, like all those legends at the top, there's a certain level of work that they put in that we don't see.
Absolutely.
The pain.
Or we don't know about.
Exactly.
Sacrifice.
Like we don't know about the family they may have lost, the
Yep.
friends. We don't know who got sick. What
Yep.
they might not have showed us that big picture. All we see is the music video.
Yeah, the music
and
video,
the cool stuff.
success,
So like I'm like, yo, for me, like I gotta put that work in. You know what I mean? I gotta put that work in. It's the most important thing, you know?
I hear
It's
you.
the most important thing.
So what about the scene in New York City? Like, the music scene in New York City, like, as far like, music producing is concerned and how do you?
I love New York. We've seen the culture change a lot over time, especially from when I was young. But one of the things that sometimes I dislike about the scene in New York is there's not enough community. Like, I feel like it gets real cliquey in New York, where instead of like, yo, let's come together and do this, people will start gatekeeping against each other.
Of course.
And then that removes like a lot of collaborative efforts. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about the New York scene that I noticed. Like, everybody wants to be the coolest all the time. So like, you know what I'm saying? So like, you run into these situations where like, damn, like you got 20 main characters in the same room. Like, how is this gonna work? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, that's how I see New York. Like, it's hard. Like, you go to a party and it's like, oh man, I'm a rapper, and I'm like, oh man, he's a rapper and he's pretty good. She's a rapper. Oh, she's pretty good too. It's like, oh shit, like we're all, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's very competitive.
That's the one thing about New York. No matter what you do. No matter what you do, if you're a girl with models, when you come to New York, there's 10,000 more models. If you're a singer, there's 10,000 more singers.
10,000.
Like, no matter what you do, like you're a bassist, like my lady is here. There's 10,000 more bassists, like, you know what I mean? But
and that moment when you might not feel like practicing or feel like doing what you got to do, just know in New York, that there's another person doing it, taking that time, and they will take your spot at the event. They will, so you gotta be prepared, man. It's crazy. New York is a hustle, and you just have to love it, or you won't make it.
And that's why they would tell you, like, most of the time, once you marry New York, no matter where you go, man, it's gonna be easy breezy,
bro. Easy breezy. Everything moves in like slow motion.
For real, though, like,
and it's funny, like, I haven't been to Cali before, but like some of my family members have. And my friends do Nico too, and they all tell me, like, even out in LA and even out in Cali, it still moves slower.
Yeah, they move slow.
It still moves
slow as hell.
It's crazy. Like,
I've been to Cali a few times. Even dancers, and they're like, going out there and watching how the dancers look. I'm like, you're pulling up an hour late.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not New York.
Too much sunlight and warmth. We're cold over here. We're shivering. We're like, yo, we gotta make money fast and get home.
They're definitely chilling.
But yeah, man. But everything aside, yo, shout out to New York always. Like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be from New York, and it's a blessing for anyone who gets to experience New York. And for anybody, I feel like it's a one of a kind place in the world, And I feel like anybody who gets to be here and see like the beauty of it, gotta appreciate that shit, because you see some crazy stuff here, you see some beautiful, you see everything. You know what I mean? And you get everything, and we got really good food.
It's a complete package.
It's the package.
And I would like to know actually about the message from your music. Like, what message your music has. Like, when you make music, there's got to be an intention. There's something that you want to tell people. Like, so what would that be?
Reflect often.
Okay.
Everything is a reflection. Every time you say something about somebody else, it's reflected back on you. Every time you feel an emotion, that's a reflection. Everything is a look in the mirror. So like, if I had to describe like what I would want my music to do for someone, is to encourage someone to take that same look in the mirror that I'm doing when I'm making the music. Just like always make sure you look within and get a good understanding of yourself. You know what I mean? Be okay with some of the wrongs you've done. Learn from those things. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the times in my music, when I mention some of the ways people have wronged me, I always make sure to also bring up some of the ways I have wronged others, and some of the ways that I have made mistakes, just so people can grab that feeling of, he's not pointing fingers. He's just,
he ain't perfect. He just human like one of us.
Exactly. This is it's a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's not me pointing at you. It's not you pointing at me. Let's talk about how to be better.
Very nice, man. Gleeks, man. Like, I would love to sit here and talk to you for the entire show, but we also do want to share your music. So I got one more question for you, man. Like, from writing your music, man, to like making beats and all that. Like, you have to learn some about yourself doing all of this. So what would that be?
What's the main thing I've learned? Honestly, the number one thing I've learned, and this is something that's come up a lot in this conversation, repetition.
Okay.
Keep on doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. It used to take me, oh my God, I remember when I first started making beats, it would take me like 3 or 4 weeks to even put something together. Like I'm sitting there for like having 10 hours. I'm like, why can't I do this? And nowadays, if I find the right sounds and everything, I'll throw a beat together 25 minutes, 30 minutes and actually enjoy it. And I think the only reason is the work put in. It's nothing. Like I almost feel sometimes like I feel like the word talent gets thrown around often, but I feel like some people's talent is just working hard. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that I can say that I became talented at because of that. Like repetition. You see results.
Most of the time, actually, when somebody got talent, they might take it for granted. They're like, I got talent, ain't got to work hard, and then somebody might not have as much talent, and then they're working hard. Now they catch up with you and go on top.
Look at somebody like Kendrick Lamar, right? When he first came out, he didn't have the best music videos. He didn't have the most money.
Nope.
He was not the flashiest guy at all.
Nope.
It was the hard work.
Yeah.
He speaks about it. He just had to write verses on verses. Look at Eminem. They said that one of my favorite stories about Eminem is that he had so many demo tapes in his garage when Dre came to his house that Dre picked up a random one and signed him off the first one.
Nice.
You know, that's work.
Yeah.
That's when you put the work in. Where Eminem said, pick whichever one you want, bro.
I
put the hours in. They're all fire, bro. Exactly. So like when I hear stuff like that, like when Kanye was like, "Yo, I made 3 beats a day for 5 summers," right? Something like that. Like you hear these things and you're like, okay.
I remember 50 Cent too. 50 Cent said some shit along the lines that he got like all the songs that he got signed for. He was like, I made them like 3-4 years ago before they got signed. It was just I knew, this
time will come.
Yeah, and this is a good song. I'm not just gonna.
I remember I was watching an interview with a couple of Young Thug's engineers. They said that they had 10,000 song files. 10,000. I said to myself, damn. This was earlier on in my career. I said, damn, I got 5 songs out. I said I got one song ready to release. This man has 10K, It's just like, but it takes time. And so like, yeah, man, I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's what I would tell anybody who's like a beginner at literally anything, not just beat making, anything. Just do it a lot. That's like the human nature.
Absolutely.
You give a human repetition, they're gonna get good at it.
You want it to become a second nature.
Exactly. Like I always give people this metaphor, not to say too much, but I always give people this metaphor. You take somebody, a baby, and you put them in a room, and you only give them, let's think of a legend. Let's say Michael Jackson. You only give them Michael Jackson, and that's all they retain. What's going to be their output? Michael Jackson, or something different, but inspired by that. And it's like, that's you gotta put those things into perspective.
I hear you, man. Gleeks, man, it's been an honor sitting over here talking to you, man.
Awesome talk, man.
We do want to hear your music, man. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody dropped one track once. Miss Kim actually, help us, get the music ready here. Like, you know what I mean? Gleeks, man, I appreciate you once again.
Appreciate you,
here,
bro.
Like, yes, like New York
Shout out
man.
to my boy Zemotion.
Brace yourself,
you
man.
already
We got some music coming for you, man. Like, like Nico, David here.
Yup.
Nico as well. Like, Miss Kim in the building, man. Like, you got some ready for us, though? Or you want me to start one first?
Which one you want to play?
The lady.
Lady.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get it. You got a best kept secret in the city. Ready?
No, guys, I don't wait because this point first.
Hey.
solutions and the problems I have problems facing. How I'm supposed to pace my thoughts, my mind is always racing. Embracing everything and doing shit in moderation. I keep my distance from the drama, I don't get involved. If you got problems with me, promise you I'll get them solved. I gave up so much of myself, I'm searching for the pieces. I'm taking time to fully heal, my mama knows I need it. Lately I've been feeling vengeance. Lately I'm demanding more respect if my name getting mentioned. Lately I've been manifesting. Lately I've been living in my dreams and I don't plan on resting. Lately I've been stuck inside. Lately I've been wishing I had wings so I could fucking fly away. Lately I've been with my fam. Lately I've been trying to pull that trigger but the gun is jammed. Yo, I'm safer with the ones who last forever. It's hard to not feel lonely when most of your ties are severed. Keep your thoughts protected, a clever mind is a treasure. I never get too comfy, I live better in pressure. Yo, running down on the demons that I sleep with kinda comfortably. The devil's scared to come for me. Yo, they typing about some shit that they could never say in front of me. That funny shit have done to me. Lately I've been feeling vengeance. Lately I'm demanding more respect if my name getting mentioned. Lately I've been manifesting. Lately I've been living in my dreams and I don't plan on resting. Lately I've been stuck inside. Lately I've been wishing I had wings so I could fucking fly away. Lately I've been with my fam. Lately I've been trying to pull that trigger but the gun is jammed. Gleeks.
Gleeks knows.
Lately, man, like tell us about that track, man. Like, you know, fire right there, man. Like tell us about it. Like, you know, what was the inspiration? Like, you know, what was it?
So honestly with that one, that was a moment. Like I started this song literally with just the word lately.
Okay.
I wrote the beginning verse after.
Okay.
The chorus came first because I sat down and I had a talk with my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and David too, where I was like, yo, I wanna be more recent, like more what's the word, current.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, let me write a song that is now for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the times when I was writing songs, I was writing from past events. I was like, let me tell like what audience I have now, what's going on with me now, so they can have a picture, and now I can really start telling my story. You know?
Yeah.
Give them a viewpoint, get them on the same page, and now like let's really get into it. You know?
Nice.
So big shout out to 18. That's the name of the producer on that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not samples. Those are all real instruments.
Okay.
So he got together with his band.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually from Europe. He's a really, really great musician. So definitely check him out on YouTube. 18.
Nice.
18-year-old. He's young. He's great though.
What?
Great. Yeah, plays a lot of instruments. So that track was really special to me because it kind of felt like a live band kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so like I'm really excited because like I've always said that I want to like have a performance where like I can perform like with a live band, and so like he pretty much made that possible. So big shout out to that guy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, next track, man, what we got for us, man? Next one.
Oof. I wanted to actually is it possible you could put an instrumental on and I could rap right now?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Where
Actually,
can I find it? Oh, no, this?
You know where?
I got you right now. Look what I'm doing. Oh shit. It's this instrument. It's called Candy. It's on. You can play it off YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Can you help me?
A very rare beat. I can't believe we found the beat.
I was gonna do a different one, but I said Nico's gonna be here. This is special.
This is the time to do it.
Special.
There's any time to do it now.
works, then we gon' be alright. Yeah, I put that on my life. I can see it in my dreams in the nights. Niggas scheme in the dark, bitches scheme in the light. Ain't no smoke in my mirror when I speak. I'm a beast on the mic. I used to get smacked by mama for talking back. It's funny cause now she tell me to talk my shit on these tracks. Facts, I still love wearing all black. I'm still feeling karma from my past. I still do my best to not react. We don't plan to fall back at any moment. We stronger than a cannonball catch. I remember back when we were match 5, cop a dime, steal a Dutch, smoke it up with 5 heads and still have our eyes red. Yeah, we do it for the love. Dirty hands when you get it out the mud, motherfucker. Gleeks, ha. Yeah.
C'est l'ordi qui est là.
That was me.
You want me to keep going?
However you feel, boss.
Alright, flip it. I got some. Can we? Let's put another beat on. Let's put another beat on.
Funk Flex drop of bombs, huh?
I'm gonna give you guys something special right now, cause this one. This beat right here. Before you know.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
I hear it.
Words are good though.
Yo,
Let's go.
we're not using the phone for this one, guys. This one's out my brain, baby.
Acapulco.
Let's go. Uh-huh. It's your boy Gleeks. Yes, sir. New York. Let's go. Let that beat drop. Yo. Yo. Yeah. Uh-huh. Gleeks. Z. Let's go. My flow automatic like dope dealers to addicts. My pen writes cinematics to all of my worst habits and learn tactics. This a new league of rapping. I've mastered the art of war. Now I'm finding my peace in the passion, dog. I'm blasting off. I remember back when I was at a loss, scattered thoughts. Luckily my brothers came to catch my ball. 22, nothing to my name. Empty, dirty wallet, no regrets. I ain't give a fuck that I ain't finished college. Graduated from the school of hard knocks. Walking in my shoes will make your heart stop. My grandma hit that hard rock. Free my nigga C, I wish that car stopped. Promise when you see me I'll already have the liquor and cigars cop. Man went to see Beauty, that was a hard watch. Betrayed by the person I love, second my guard drop. Still kept my focus on gratitude. Switched up my attitude, I'm working on a much higher magnitude. Word. Uh-huh. Yo. Yeah. Yo, watch how I demonstrate the way I detonate all you duplicates without hesitation. Heavyweighted, Gleeks got you checkmated, we elevated. Desperate for a check, my ego death was nothing less than a test, it was premeditated.
Talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's
Uh-huh.
go. Gleeks on the mic, man.
Yeah,
Gleeks doing what he does, man. That's
what we do, baby. Just rap. Uh-huh.
fire, man. Fire, man. Like, you know, a cappella, man. My
Yup.
son, full scene work, man. Great stuff right there, man. Like,
Thank
you
y'all
know,
for
man,
having me,
so-
for real.
So now let us know, like, you know, what's going on in your brain, like, you know, when you're rapping. Do you see words coming your, coming your way?
I
Like,
don't, bro.
like,
I feel like, yo, when I start rapping, man, I feel like a different person, bro. Like,
nice, man.
I feel like, that's like when the real me comes out, you know?
Nice.
It feels like, it's exciting, you know? That's my favorite part of it. That's why I was excited today. I was like, yo, I wanna come with something raw. You know, I miss the raw energy from the game. Like,
Yeah.
I had something prepared, but it's also like, I grew up before the Drake era, looking at the phone. Nah, I want to see real raw energy, real raw expression. I had to close my eyes for most of that verse.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? But
Mhm.
it's that, bro. But I feel I feel amazing every time I rap like that and get the opportunity to express that way.
Yeah.
It relieves any stress I have. I don't even think about work tomorrow now.
That's what's up, man.
I did it for the love, you know.
Absolutely, man. And
That's
you
it.
feel it, man. People feel the energy out here, man. Like
Hell
you know,
yeah.
Gleeks, man. It's been an honor. You got one more for us? Or
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, like if you got one more for us, man. Let's.
So this one is called Crooked Stairs. It's on Spotify. It's mad funny.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
It's coming. It's coming. Give it a minute. There you go. Yeah.
Doesn't this bring back crazy memories, bro? It's a different time. Yeah. But it's good because look where it is right now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Take notes. I've been way too nice, so now it's stuck in with the ain't close.
Like, you know, the little mental illusion.
Yeah. Dolly. But it was a double entendre because it's like crooked stairs, but like crooked stairs.
Oh, yeah.
But gave up most that other shit. All I do is smoke, dog. I was at my lowest point. I ain't even have a coin. Had to learn to hustle hard. Couldn't even smoke a joint. Damn, I think it's time to prove these people wrong. Like why they sleeping on me. Always love a challenge. That's the type of shit that keep me hungry. Robbed a couple clubs when I was younger. It was easy money. Some of the niggas still want their revenge, but I just think it's funny. Ha. Take notes. Talk behind your back, but when they see you, they like, hey, bro. I see that look deep in your eyes. That's where the hate shows. Talking, but your words don't hold no weight. Whatever you say, bro. Half you rappers rapping sound the same and got the same flow. Clever mind, your brain can't go the places that my brain go. I don't got a limit to my vision. It's just straight growth. In my mind, I'm talking to myself like, what do I say, bro? Grab your pen and pad and learn this lesson, nigga. Take notes. Yeah. Castroville in my mask glow, I've been singing. Most slack vision, they stuck in they past rhythms. I want and I stack pivots, have fun and I pass limits. Don't act different when asking for forgiveness. I keep walking up these crooked stairs, so I view the world with a crooked stare. I keep walking up these crooked stairs, so I view the world with a crooked stare. I keep walking up these crooked stairs, so I view the world with a crooked stare. I keep walking up these crooked stairs, so I view the world with a crooked stare. I keep walking up these crooked stairs, so I view the world with a crooked stare.
I like how your catalog is different, man. Like, you know, that track, you did not see that one coming.
Yeah, I was
Let us
angry
know.
on that one. I was
Yeah,
I was a little mad when I wrote that one.
Nice, man. Let us know, like, you know, so what was
Yeah.
happening? What was the
It was a very transitional moment of my life where Nico knows too. He was part of this. There was a lot of a lot of loose strings that needed to be cut,
Okay.
and there was a lot of I won't say there's a lot of drama. We don't really involve ourselves in, like, stuff like that, but you know, there's just like tension.
Okay.
Certain things being said, like not to your face, and
A lot of crooked stairs.
a lot of exactly. A lot of things like that were going on at that time, and I was like, it wasn't. I won't call it a diss track, but it was one of those things where, like, it was towards people who know that I make music and listen to music, and it's one of those things where it's like, who I was talking to, they know I was talking to them, type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, I always try to make it a certain conversation, but that one was really personal. And it's funny, actually. Oh man, it's actually funny talking about this and how that track is different, because when I made that track, I asked one of my friends, Eric. I I said, what do you like about this? Like, do you like this track? What makes you like this track? And he was like, oh, I just like it because some of the stuff I feel like I can relate to, because I feel the same way about like some of my situations in life. And I didn't expect him to say that, because it's an aggressive song, you know what I mean? But sometimes I forget that like people can relate to the aggressive energy as well.
Of course, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people will get mad, so it's always cool to like, you know, go through the different emotions in your music. And like that one was definitely like you know,
I told this much that this what we're gonna do at this point. You just did what to do. I listened to some of your stuff, but I believe you nice enough for you to be able to give me some on this one. Let's see what you gotta say.
Oh, okay.
So people know none of this was prepared.
Okay.
This is happening live right here, man. Like, you know, like
Live in effect.
I came today with a chill vibe actually, so like, you know, I knew you were gonna get down. So this was not prepared. So
Okay.
Let me know how you feel about this track.
All right. Let me hear the beat.
Right up the alley. Just fire ready.